was I gonna do again? Oh yeah, the stove's up. 3, 2, 1, go! Have you ever walked into a room completely locked in, looking for X item, scanning the perimeter like Predator hunting for Arnold in the jungle, and then you pause, looked around aimlessly, said to yourself, what the hell was I looking for again? Guys, what is happening? Kevin from Lift and Balance back at it again for another edition of How the Hell Do We Health? Just thought of that on the fly. Pretty cool, right? Back to our example. And I get it. That's the old school example. Who has physical things anymore? This is the digital age, baby. So the new school version of that is picking up these mini supercomputers that we have in our palms with a distinct task in mind. And before you realize what hit you, you've liked 17 Instagram photos and Snapchat's loading. Sound familiar? Trust me, I know. In this 21st century, it is basically an innate, natural response that once we unlock that phone, we are unconsciously opening up our favorite social media apps. And 10 minutes later, we're asking ourselves that same question. What the hell was I gonna do again? The noise is real. In fact, today's signal to noise ratio has hit record levels. I don't know what we're yelling about! It is simply too easy to fall into a YouTube vortex, a Twitter investigation, or putting the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon to the test on Facebook. It gets exhausting. And when we try to clamp down and remove that grip from that mini distraction device, we typically find ourselves right back at it 10 minutes later. It's safe to say we might be in a little bit of trouble. The non-stop live feed in our hands has distracted us from the greatness of the now, the stillness in the action, the awareness of silence. Until recently, I've really never understood the practice of sitting still or doing nothing. Other words, meditation. But after digging into the research and putting it to practice, it's become evident that doing nothing has the ability to do anything and everything. As I'm sure you figured out by now, our mind has a mind of its own. It could take us on a physiological and emotional roller coaster in a matter of seconds. We're all moving at such a fast pace that it's easy to let our mind run wild. If I had to characterize my own at times, I'd say it's equivalent to Wild Thornberry's Donnie Wild. Yeah, I just brought Donnie back onto the scene. The facts of the matter are, this mushy membrane has the capability of altering the chemical balance in our bodies, triggering biological responses that are oftentimes detrimental to our health, especially when this turns into a chronic issue over long periods of time. So why not just teach ourselves how to chill out? Enter meditation, stage left. I'll be the first one to admit my skepticism of meditation. How can sitting down and doing nothing do anything, right? But after the first couple of weeks and after the first couple of months of practicing for 10 to 20 minutes a day, you begin to notice that there's something just so empowering about being able to shut down the engine at will. Think of it this way. If your car is smoking, your initial reaction is to shut down the engine. So why don't we take that same concept and apply it to our minds? We're not going anywhere. We're just giving our mind a few minutes to cool off. And for this brief time, you focus your attention on the here and now, letting go of everything and becoming as present as possible. When you look back in terms of history, meditation has been around for a long time. The first documented evidence being all the way back between 5000 and 3500 BC. And when anything sticks around for that long, it's typically for a pretty good reason. So I'll start by saying this. There is no right or wrong way to do it. It's really finding what works for you, what helps you decompress, what helps you become present, and just enjoying some good old quality time with yourself. I mean, you're a pretty cool cat. Why the hell not hang out with yourself? And I warn you, you will not have an overnight epiphany or miracle after your first couple of sessions. Most likely you're gonna find that your first couple of sessions are gonna be pretty damn awkward. If you wanna check out what it was like for me, check the card above, we'll link it below. It's a whole lot of singing and not knowing to do it with my hands.
Let me just put my hands right. Well, over heart. God damn it, I feel like Ricky Bobby.
Hopefully it helps you. But like anything, it takes a little practice, so commit to it and trust the process. You're gonna feel weird, you're gonna feel silly, you're gonna feel awkward. Get over it.
Let it go, let it go. Come on now, that's not even fair. That song is awesome.
The good news is there are many different ways to meditate. The internet is riddled with instructional blogs and videos and all that good stuff. And there are a bunch of really good apps that you can utilize. So get your Google on and figure out what works for you. The best meditation is going to be the one that you actually do on a consistent basis. And here are some reasons why you may want to stick with it. The research continues to pile up. It's been linked to reducing stress, lowering anxiety, increasing your attention span, aiding sleep, and your overall mental well-being. Take this study of US and Chinese undergrad students, which displayed that 1 month of daily meditation or mindfulness practice significantly reduced their levels of the stress hormone cortisol. It also displayed that they were able to resist the stresses of everyday life to a greater degree while they were going through this daily regimen. Pretty cool stuff. And if that wasn't enough, there's also data that shows that meditation or mindfulness has the ability to tone down our autonomic nervous system in stressful situations. It can also aid IBS, and it's been linked to increased longevity. And if you remember from this video, that's a good thing. So the research has literally been flooding out. This is a hot topic in science, and we're finding that it interacts with so many different systems by so many different mechanisms in our bodies. And the point of this video is to really just get you to think outside the box, to share a practice that I've implemented that's improved my life, and it's backed by cold, hard scientific data. And who doesn't love data? This feeds to one of my favorite concepts and kind of what I've built my philosophy around, that small updates day by day, week by week, add up to this lifelong path of optimization. You're constantly improving, you're constantly getting better, there's constantly new methods and evidence out there that you can incorporate into your life to make it better, more fulfilling, and just be happier. I could tell you straight up that adding 10 to 20 minutes of meditation to my daily routine has made an impact. It allows me to stop and observe my thoughts as they float through my head, knowing that they're neither good or bad, they're just thoughts. And to be honest, often I find my best ideas come to me in this state. And to actually capture all these, I've incorporated a practice called thinkitating, which has been coined by Tom Bilyeu of Impact Theory, who is literally a growth mindset mastermind. So I highly recommend you check him and what they're doing over there out. So just like anything else, it's a consistency game. There's a lot going on up there in this 3-pound ball of mush. The cliche, many times you can't control what happens, but you can always control how you react, is overused for a reason, because it's true, but you can't control how you react until you get control of your mind. All right, I'm done rambling. Give meditation a go. Find what works for you and stick with it. It's a consistency game. I'm getting a little Donnie from Wild Thornberries right now. I gotta figure out what we're gonna talk about next week. I think it's time for a little thinkitating. Until next time.